apparently. Patch day. We'll see. Let's just see how bad it is. Or good. Can you guys actually read it when I make it like this small so my camera doesn't cut it off? I think you can. Anyway. These, and this is for the YouTube people that, you know, some of them folks on the last video couldn't read. I'll spell it out for you. Today is the 18th of July. This is the Diablo 4 patch notes for the 18th of July. So if we post this a little bit late, guess what? You don't even have to read this time. Use your ears. Anyway, now that that's over with, you can't read. Stop it. All right, so the Diablo 4 patch notes. Diablo 4 team has been diligently monitoring your feedback. We'll see about that. Moving on. All right, so the Malignant theme and offerings, yada yada, will happen on July 20th. That's when Season 1 begins. So right now we're basically in limbo, right? So anyway, we got some unique items and legendary aspects. New unique items and legendary aspects have been discovered in Sanctuary. Use them to enhance your character in the eternal or seasonal realm. These unique items can be obtained in World Tier 4, and the legendary aspects can be obtained from any World Tier. So does this mean these are like those super legend or super uniques? Like the ones that no one's ever going to see? The internet all has a boy attention level. Starting to see it. So we don't know if these are like the uniques that we'll never see, or if they're like, you know, are they like Shaco, Grandfather, etc., or are they just like the rest of them that we'll see every now and then? Anyway, we have a Barbarian, Spear of a Lycander. Okay, yep, it's Uber unique staff. There it is. So this Spear of Lycander, which is actually a staff apparently. We'll never see this, so we can just ignore this. What does it give you? Gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite. Can only occur once every 30 seconds. I mean, yeah, I guess that's okay. I mean, can you imagine killing a unique pack and then getting a conduit right after and then just tearing through and getting more and more? That could be really good. I think that could be pretty cool. I mean, we'll never see it, but, you know, it'd be pretty cool. Barbarian, Spear of Lycander is an extremely rare drop. We wish you luck in recovering it from the armies of the Burning Hells. Okay. So now for the normal uniques. These are the ones that we should think about because we'll actually get them. So Barbarian gets Azarath. They're bringing that one back. Cool. Lucky hit. Your core skills have a 20% chance, up to a 20% chance, to freeze enemies for 3 seconds and deal... I mean, this obviously scales the 0.75 to 1.5 cold damage to them. I mean, could be cool. We'll just have to wait and see for when those drop. Druid gets a Flesh Render. Debilitating Roar and Blood Howl now deal 0.5 to 1 point of damage to nearby poisoned enemies. Ooh. I'm actually curious how this will work. I'm curious how this will work with that one legendary aspect. The one that eats poison and, you know, because that works with Debilitating Roar currently if you set it up right. Kind of interesting. What's up, Crow? Judicia. Hello. They even buffed the Uber Unique Ring. Oh, yeah? Yeah, we'll be playing Mario Kart after this. We're just waiting on Season 1 kind of thing. Necromancers get the Lidless Wall. Cool. They're bringing this one back. Lucky hit. While you have an active Bone Storm, hitting an enemy outside of a Bone Storm has a 5 to 25% chance. That's a big range. To spawn an additional Bone Storm at their location. Each of your active sacrifice bonuses increase the chance by 25%. So... this essentially just, if you get this item, man, they really don't like minions in Diablo 4, do they? I mean, this is literally, if you get Lidless Wall, it's telling you, don't use minions. Because you just get a hell of a higher chance of spawning this extra Bone Storm, and you get another additional one. Like, what the fuck, man? Oh, man. I mean, it seems really cool, though. I like it, but, I mean, I feel like Necromancer summoning skills have just been shit on again, in a way. So rogues get Eagle Horn. Unique bow. Penetrating shot has a 30 to 80% chance. Wow. To fire an arrow that bounces off of walls and scenery. Huh. Hitting enemies from behind with penetrating shot. Giggity. Will make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. Or the rest of their lives. Man, that's kind of neat. I wonder what that's like. Because, I mean, penetrating shot is already like an explosion, right? So now you got even more of that explosion. It might be cool. The only problem with this is it's a bow. And, I mean, bows kind of suck, if we're being honest. I don't know. Like, when you use a bow, like the innate... I feel like crossbows are just way better because of the vuln damage that they give you, as opposed to... What do bows give you? Damage at distance. Which, obviously, if you're using a bow, you want to shoot things at a distance. But this is Diablo 4. Not everything is always at distance. You know? There's things that are going to run up on you no matter what. It just happens. So, I don't know. It could be neat to play with, though. I'm not going to judge that. Sorks get the Oculus, a unique wand. Gain the effect of the teleport enchantment for free. I haven't played Sork yet. You guys are going to tell me what this means. When you evade using teleport enchantment... Oh, here, I guess it's going to tell me. When you evade using teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location. No. Come on, man. It's season 1. Are we running out of ideas already? What is this? What's going on, Basil? I have no idea what this is. Apparently, Helltide drops are... If you check the Discord, there's a post about it. Apparently, Helltide drops right now currently are broken for Cinders. Yeah, the Cinder drop rate right now is just kind of broken. They're fixing it, though, apparently. With every patch, there's always some kind of something that breaks. That's just... I mean, it's not just for Blizzard games. That's just in general. There's always something. It's always scary to play on patch day, honestly, on hardcore. You never know what enemy might just one-shot you. Okay, so now... Moving on from the uniques, we have 7 new legendary aspects. Let's check these aspects out. We have Audacity, utility aspect. When there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for 2 to 4 seconds. This can only occur once every 20. Nope. Craven. I mean, this could be good, I guess. If you kill things within the 4 seconds, that could be solid, I guess. But once every 20 seconds? I don't know. Craven. You gain 20 to 40% increased movement speed when you're moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. Again, maybe that's a neat little thing to have. I don't know. I think there's better aspects than these two. Barbarian gets Ancestral Charge. It's an offensive aspect. Charge calls forth 4 Ancients who also charge, dealing 50 to 100% of normal damage. I am going to be trying this. I really, really enjoy Charge. We are playing a Barbarian Season 1. This is something I'm really going to get with. Apparently, they fixed Charge. It's been broken since the game's release. But apparently, they fixed it somewhat. And I feel like this will make it really fun to play with. I was big into Charge and Upheaval. And if they brought it back, you know, we'll see what happens. Moving on. Druid, Subterranean. Poison Creepers active also casts a landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 10 to 20% increased damage to poisoned enemies. This could be really cool, I think. Well, I won't be playing Druid. I might play Druid like late in the season, but this could be really cool. Could be pretty cool. TP into ice mod? Oh, you mean the Sork thing? Yeah. Yeah, Charge wasn't being used because it wasn't working correctly. If you played in the beta or the server slam, Charge was actually kind of good. Like, it would gather up a group. Think of it like this. This is how I compared it the other day. Charge used to do this. Like, the fist is your charge, right? You charge into the enemies. They go around you and get carried with you. Now Charge does this. You get, like, one enemy, and that's it. So it's very... I don't feel like it's working correctly, but I don't know. They haven't touched it or even mentioned it, so I haven't played the patch yet, so I don't know if it's actually still broken. Deku says it's working like semi right, like you're getting like 3 enemies. Necromancers, Gore Quills. Blood Lance will consume blood orbs to also conjure lances from them. Each additional Blood Lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced enemies. It could be cool, I guess. I don't know much about Necromancer. Rogues get Pestilent points. Every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 150% of normal potency. Okay. Sork. I mean, I literally just used Puncture as a way of getting vulnerability easy, but we'll see. Could be cool. Sorks get Searing Wards. After spending 200 to 100 mana, your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy incoming small missiles. Okay, now, what's categorized as small missiles here? Because, I mean, I'm guessing that just means arrows and stuff, so, like, bigger thing. That could be confusing. I could get you killed. Could be cool, though. All right. Moving on to bug fixes. I'm sure there's a lot here. Accessibility made various improvements from an accessibility perspective. Primarily many fixes to the screen reader where it failed to read specific elements. Okay. Challenges. Multiple issues. Specific challenges wouldn't provide the proper rewards or could not be completed. Okay. Multiple issues where certain challenges could be progressed through unintended means. Okay. Multiple issues where players could gain progress for certain challenges through the actions of other players. Other players could kill things, and it would count for you. That was the thing. Fixed multiple instances. I wonder if by them fixing this, actually, if it changes up how the one thing on Druid works. Like the 20 kills gives you a free overpower, like that thing. I mean, you wouldn't use it past 50, really, but before 50, it's pretty solid. And it used to work by other people getting kills, and it would count for you. So I wonder if that's... we'll have to look at that, see if it changed anything. Fix multiple instances where activities that should count towards the criteria for some challenges were not counted. Fixed an issue where players would not receive notifications for when one of their friends completed a challenge. Oh, no. Fixed an issue where feats of strength were not accounted for when calculating challenge completion percentage. The feat of strength final slayer of the first mother now requires you to slay the level 100 pinnacle boss solo. The silence is hellish challenge remains unchanged. I haven't even looked at those. But with this patch, I'm sure there's going to be a lot less Lilith kills in hardcore. If they fix the shred build and all these other bullshit builds, I guarantee there's going to be a lot less killing in hardcore. Fixed an issue where the feats of strength, one of the first and earliest experience, did not display all the titles they rewarded. Oh, no. 200 to 100 mana. Yeah, if it's a battle roll, you got to spend 2 of your full bars of mana. Cooperative play. They fixed an issue where the camera wasn't functioning correctly. Fix an issue with NPC conversation boxes overlapping. Fix an issue where Rogue's inner sight would only fill up for one of the players in the co-op session. Fix an issue where Dark Potential challenge would be granted to both players. How dare. Fix multiple instances where quest progress would not properly synchronize. I wonder, I'm just curious. I don't think that many of us in our community do the cooperative thing, but how many of you guys have played couch co-op yet with this game? I'm genuinely curious. I don't think any of us have, right? Fix multiple issues that occurred during cutscenes for co-op players. Okay. Let's check these dungeons out. Fixed an issue where the player would not be able to receive enough animus to progress through the Hallowed Ossuary dungeon. We ran into that one. Couch co-op in 2023, KW. Fixed an issue where the stone carving in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon would duplicate. We've seen that all the time. Fixed an issue where the monster regen affix in the Nightmare dungeon would also affect structures in that dungeon. Okay. Fixed an issue where the Goat Man and Shambling Corpse enemies would continuously respawn in the Forsaken Quarry dungeon. I don't think we've seen that. That would have been cool. Fix an issue where the Sentinel enemies would not have weapons in the Bastion of Faith dungeon. Fix an issue where the Bastion of Faith dungeon could sometimes not be completed. Fix an issue where the player could respawn behind a barrier in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. Fix an issue where the map for the Crusaders Cathedral dungeon was incomplete. Let's see. Fixed an issue where the Curse of Indolence and the Curse of the Weak would stack even while the player was dead in the Fallen Temple capstone dungeon. Man, they had a lot of issues with the capstone dungeons. Fixed multiple instances where the fog door cannot be progressed through in some dungeons. We ran into that quite a bit. Twice in the past, week to be exact. Fixed an issue where the Monster Thorns affix in Nightmare dungeons was reflecting physical damage. It will now properly reflect non-physical damage. Okay. Fix an issue where blood boils would not properly display in Cordragon Barracks dungeon. And an issue where traps would deal more damage than intended. Really? Fix an issue where level scaling in the level 100 Pinnacle dungeon was inconsistent. Wonder what that means. So could you, jump into the level 100 and Echo of Lilith be 106 or 94 or something? Huh. Fix an issue where the Awakened Glyphstone wouldn't spawn if the party leader left the dungeon before the dungeon was completed. Anyway, moving on to gameplay. So let's see what kind of bug fixes are in the gameplay part here. This could be interesting. Barbarian. Fix an issue where the number of enemies to defeat the Barbarian class quest Masters of Battle was not displayed. Fix an issue where Iron Maelstrom could be cast more than 3 times rapidly casting Warcry. That's kind of interesting. Fix an issue where stacking Berserk Ripping, Skullbreaker, and Anemia aspects would allow the player to deal extreme amounts of damage. Fix an issue where the outer edge of the quakes granted to Hammer of the Ancients via the aspect of Ancestral Echoes was dealing far too much damage than we intended. Developer notes, we recognize this adjustment is a significant decrease to the Hammer of the Ancients Barbarian build, but we do not want its strength to be reliant on an underlying bug. See you in Season 2, Hoda Barbs. Maybe. Hoda's actually still amazing. Just tried it out. Good. It was. Weren't people doing Lilith with this bugged Hoda thing? It was doing a crazy amount of damage. So it's probably still fine. Just kind of okay-ish. Ooh, Druid. Not as amazing, but Whirlwind is now top tier again, maybe. Whirlwind was strong as hell anyway, just because you could move and kill at the same time. Okay, so Druid. Fix an issue where Earth skills and the Pulverize skill would consume 2 overpower buffs simultaneously. I ran into that all the time when I was running, what was it? It was the Pulverize thing and also Provocation. Those 2 skills would eat each other if they lined up together. Fix an issue where the bonus effect on Bloodhowl from Night Howler's aspect would apply twice to wolf companions, but not at all for ravens. Interesting. Fix an issue where Provocation passive stacks wouldn't update properly after adding more points to it. We noticed that a little bit. in the very beginnings. Fix an issue where the automatic transformation from Insatiable Fury would cause the Earthsign Key passive not to proc consistently. Huh. Fix an issue where the Enhanced Pulverize buff would not remove itself while in town. So, gotta wait even longer if you're coming out of town now for a free overpower. Fixed an issue where Seeking Tornadoes produced produced by Storm Chaser's aspect would not deal damage. Fix an issue where Raven's passive damage did not improve after the skill was upgraded. Ooh. That's actually a big one. Who was using Ravens? I'm a Druid in Season 1 anyways. Druid is deep. I'll be the first one to say it. Druid is the best class in Diablo 4 right now. And has been since the beginning. Druid has the most builds that you can do. The most broken builds that you can do until this patch, probably. It's tanky as fuck without even trying. Druid is just a very solid class all around. 1 to 50, use overpower build. After that, you should have the aspects to build into better things. 1 to 50, use overpower. Guess what? You won't even have to worry about clear speed. All these people that are crying about clear speed on druids, get better. It's not that bad. Actually, it's not even bad if you play it correctly. Fix an issue where rabies would deal no damage while standing very close to an enemy. All right. Fix an issue where the Stormclaw's aspect allowed Shred to do extreme amounts of damage. There goes the overpower build. One overpower build. Did they not, I mean, we're not through the patches yet, but I'm wondering, did they not fuck with, what was it, Bulwark and Tornado Druid? I'm guessing they haven't. Moving on, Necromancer bug fixes. Fixed an issue where Necromancers could not obtain daggers from the Purveyor of Curiosities. Fixed an issue where the Necromancer minions would have their life bonuses deactivated while in town. Fixed an issue where Bone Spear cast through a chilling wind from an elite enemy would increase the number of generated echoes for that cast. Oh, I bet that was fun. Fixed an issue where Enhanced Bone Spear could cause erratic movement. Fix an issue where canceling Blood Mist when it's already off cooldown would immediately recast. Ooh. I bet that was kind of cool, just running around Blood Mist full time. They also didn't fix a bug on here, I'm noticing. They didn't fix the issue of minions being completely useless as opposed to sacrificing them. So we'll write that in for them. Rogue fixed an issue where Shadow Step wouldn't trigger the aspect of Uncanny Treachery if the target was killed. Fixed an issue where Advanced Penetrating Shot would not knock down other players in PvP. Oh my god, I bet that's hilarious. Actually. Fixed an issue where Twisting Blades would not come back when the ability killed a bloated Corpse Fiend enemy. Fixed an issue where the dash skill would not move the full distance of targeting an enemy while using a controller. Really? I thought that dash worked just shooting you at full distance no matter what. Because that's how it worked on controller. We played Rogue 1 to 100 with a controller. I always just thought dash just went through them. Huh. Well, that'll be interesting on playing Rogue with a controller, actually. They fixed an issue where the Eldritch Bounty Paragon node granted bonus resistances incorrectly. Oh, no. How did they find this? That's a fucking needle in a haystack, huh? How do you tell that resistances aren't being correctly granted when they're useless to begin with? Fixed an issue where Rapid Fire had an extra arrow VFX that behaved erratically. Fixed an issue where the awakened glyph stones wouldn't spawn for rogue players using improved barrage. What? Oh my god, that's such a weird bug. Okay, well, Sorks it is. Let's see here. Fix an issue where the Firebolt enchantment effect did not contribute to the combustion key passive. Okay, well, fire skill's got a slight buff there. Fix an issue where the passive stacks generated by Align the Elements could partially reset in an unexpected way. Fix an issue where casting Deep Freeze would prevent the Ice Shard enchantment effect from triggering. Fix an issue where the aspect of control was applying its damage bonus 3 times for staggered bosses. If any of this stuff sounds very important, you Sork players let me know, because I'm not getting half of this. I've never played a Sork. I will in Season 1 after Barb, but fix an issue where the gravitational aspect was appearing weaker on two-handed weapons or amulets. Fix an issue where the enchantment effect for Chain Lightning had no visual tracking bonus and could also unexpectedly drop off. Fix an issue where Incinerate would immediately cost 30 mana when cast in addition to the consistent channeling mana cost. Incinerate now probably only costs mana as it's being channeled. That's actually kind of big, I feel like. An instant 30 chunk of mana and then channeling on top of that? That's huge. But, I mean, it's Incinerate, so... I guess make it way better. So let's see. The Deep Freeze and the Ice Shard is important? Is it? What does that mean? So if they fix an issue where Deep Freeze would prevent the Ice Shard enchantment effect from triggering, because the Ice Shard enchantment, what is that? Like it ricochets around, right? Yeah. So anything that's frozen to get hit. Oh. Wow. That actually is pretty big. Yeah. So basically when you freeze things, it just starts doing more and more damage to them because of Man. That kind of stings, actually. Like, what the hell? Right. You don't need to cast Ice Shard. You just need to freeze something. Oof. All right. General. Fix multiple instances where players could unnaturally teleport during boss encounters. Fix an issue where a chest in the Western Ways could be interacted with infinitely. Okay. Forever chest in the West. Fixed an issue where the Araman NPC couldn't be interacted with in certain situations. Fixed an issue where otherwise breakable objects in the world would not be broken when evading through them. How dare they? Fixing multiple instances where the player could avoid damage from bosses if they position themselves in a specific location. What? Fixed an issue where forged relics could not be interacted with. Fixed an issue where monsters with a cold, bleeding, burning, or corruption affix would freeze players in one hit in nightmare dungeons with the cold affix or cold enchant affix. They also fixed an issue where cold enchanted monsters froze players more often than intended in higher world tiers. Really? I feel like this could be huge for the CC chains that we have been seeing since forever. I need specifics. I need percentages here. Come on, Blizzard. Come on, Pez Radar. Make it happen. Fix an issue where a chest could spawn that would provide infinite loot. Isn't that kind of thing in the West here? Same thing. All right, so Helltides. Let's go on to Helltides real quick. So we've already been getting reports that Helltides aren't dropping their cinders correctly. So let's see. They fixed an issue where the player could be damaged by the Helltide Firestorm while standing in... Wow! So while standing in town, you could actually die to Helltide Firestorm. As if it wasn't dangerous enough. But that's fixed now. Now you only die in Kedbardu. Fixed an issue where enemies resurrected by shamans would continuously drop aberrant cinders and Helltides. Okay. Fix an issue where Chain Lightning could bounce infinitely between the caster and other players standing in... Wait. Fixed an issue where chain lightning could bounce infinitely between the caster and other player characters standing in a Fields of Hatred town. So what you're saying is, if a Sork got the upper hand and someone was trying to run to town and they were hit with chain lightning and the Sork was close enough for it to bounce, they would die no matter what at that point. Fixed an issue where crackling energy could hit other players in the Fields of Hatred town. Oh my God. We know. Shocking. What's up, Kupo? Should have tried that. Oh my God. That's actually funny. For hardcore, especially. Oh, man. So fix an issue where players could not see other players that they should when re-entering the Alzuda Fields of Hatred zone. Invisible predator enemies. Fix an issue where certain areas in the Fields of Hatred would be incorrectly flagged as a town, rendering players unable to cast skills while still being able to be damaged. Man, am I glad I've been dodging Fields of Hatred. Christ, that zone is bugged. All right, items and aspects. Fix an issue where the cost reduction bonuses from the Ring of Starless Skies could unexpectedly drop off. They also fixed an issue where the aspect of the Protector would trigger its barrier effect after destroying a breakable object. They also fixed an issue where the Ring of Misfortune had incorrect stats. All right. Fixed an issue where the Ember Staff weapon didn't apply the bonus damage to crowd-controlled enemies, which is inherent for all stave-type weapons. Yeah, that's why Druid actually uses that. Pulverized Druid uses it. Fix an issue where any character menu interaction would reset the bonus granted by the Inner Calm aspect. Fixed an issue where the maximum life affix on the Mark of the Conclave quest was scaling improperly. Fixed an issue where the aspect of power would also increase when upgrading an item at a blacksmith. Really? I thought that was intended. Ring of Starless Skies is the uber unique ring? Oh, one that we'll never see. I thought this was intended. I thought they wanted the aspect to be upgraded, but I guess not. These are big. So the level requirement for sacred items is now capped at 60. Ancestral items are now capped at 80. That's actually really big. Like, this is a good thing. These are good. Really good, actually. So they fixed an issue where the Mother's Embrace unique ring did not trigger properly with several abilities. Really? I wonder if it was working correctly for Pulverized build. Because I feel like it wasn't. That's why I stopped using the damn thing. But maybe it was. I don't know. Bug fixes for monsters. They fixed an issue where items of higher power than intended were dropping from rare monsters. So this is your Rot Splinter wing or rings. This is your anything that drops from a rare monster that would roll 815 plus. They now nerf that way of getting higher item power. That sucks. They fixed an issue where the Warg's jumping attack dealt no damage when passing through the player. Fixed an issue where the Pitiless Gur monster would endlessly run around in circles. Fixed an issue where the lightning-enhanced champion Goatman would fail to deal damage to the... Okay, I know that they're talking about something completely different. What about them lightning Goatmen shamans that hold their stick up in the air and it gives like a lightning shield to enemies? How about we look at that damage? How about we look at that one, please? Arc Razor, appreciate the 2 glorious months, man. Welcome on in. We're just going over some patch notes right now before we get into Mario Kart. But they need to look at that, dude. They need to look at that. 100%. That goat shaman damage is fucking insane. Oof. Appreciate 2 months again, no, Tony. Thank you, sir. They fixed an issue where monsters with the suppressor affix would be immune to damage from abilities that started initially outside the immunity circles, like Whirlwind. Yep, exactly. Exactly like Whirlwind. There you go, guys. Whirlwind got a buff. Fixed an issue where clones of a monster with the suppressor affix would also have the suppressor affix. Thank God that was so annoying. Fixed an issue where treasure goblins would behave erratically if initially engaged from a long distance. Okay. Fixed multiple other issues where monster behavior could not perform properly and could be exploited in some cases. I wonder if that means Butcher. People abuse Butcher quite a bit. So, I don't know yet. All right. Quests and events. Man, this is a beefy patch. We are roughly halfway through. I thought this was take an hour, but it's probably going to take more. Fix an issue where the progress bar could not fill during Caravan Under Siege event. We'll fly through this part. Fix an issue with putrid remain enemies not be Fix an issue where champion enemies could not spawn during Ancient Obelisk. Yada 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 yada. I mean, these are all world events and stuff. Like, who the fuck even does that anymore? I mean, the only time I did world events was Hell Tides. We may do 10 of them as we level in season 1. Anyway, they fixed a bunch of issues, apparently, with some world events and quests. I just left that up there for just a little bit, so if people really wanted to read it, they can pause it and read it. All right, UI user interface. Fix an issue where the minimap didn't accurately depict the game world during the Blind Eye quest. Because you're blind, come on. Fix an issue where the map was incomplete for the Loch Riath region of Scotland. Fix an issue where the map was invisible. Fix another issue where the Mad Bomber title would not display for enemies encountered through the whisper of the same name. Huh. Oh my goodness, thank God. Here we go, boys. Best change. Right here. They fixed an issue where the "you have cross-network play-enabled" message was being sent to chat each time a campaign quest objective was completed. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. The cult leader Paragon Pass no longer appears above hostile minions in PvP. This was one that was redacted, apparently. This is just blank fix. Fix an issue where the bonus from the ballistic aspect displayed +0 to skills instead of +2. Yeah. Fix an issue where the sigil sorting was inconsistent. Fix an issue where the amount of gold would not properly display when trading gold in large quantities. Really? Interesting. Fix multiple issues with the map pin function. Various other UI and UX improvements. Okay. Miscellaneous. Fixed an issue where the completion music for defeating Avarice could start playing before the boss was defeated. Always confirm your kills before celebrating, Wanderers. Fix an issue where players couldn't send BNet friend requests when playing on console. Fix an issue where players could confirm if hardcore mode was enabled after logging in with a new character. Wait, what? Interesting. Fix an issue where players that haven't unlocked a higher world tier could be invited to play in a higher world tier party. That's good. That was confusing. Clan fix. Fixed an issue where Mashif's camel made no noises. Fixed an issue where there is no sound when Lorath kicks Mashif awake. Butcher fucked me up, so I believe it. They fixed the Butcher. Loading screen updates. Now we can learn more things on the loading screens. Okay. Gameplay updates. Here we go. Now we're going to start getting into some good stuff here. So general. Altar of Lilith unlocks are now account-wide. Map discovery is now account-wide. Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. Thank you, because silent chests were completely useless. The channel time for the leave dungeon ability has been increased from 3 to 5 seconds. We have generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in combat so that melee characters don't have to go play chase. Okay. Added PS5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for PC. Renown value adjustments. Oh boy. Side quest renown reward values have been increased from 20 to 30. Dungeon renown reward values have been increased from 30 to 40. There you go, boys and girls. The renown grind got a little bit easier. Just popped the silent chest and got 4 rares. Hey, that's an increase. It used to be mostly blues. It's still maybe we'll start seeing some uniques. Remember when we got trolled by the silent chest at the beginning? Because I was just like, no, I'm not going to pop these. We tried this in a beta and it was shit. The first like 3 silent chests that we spawned or popped out legendaries, and I thought to myself, wow, these are good again. So I bought like 50 keys, and I haven't seen a legendary since then. Not a single one since then. All right, can you tell me what's good and what's bad for Rogue? Can in a little bit. Let me get done here. I can go over some talks. And I mean those things may be changed too, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Dev notes, this change is retroactive, and the additional renown gain will be applied to characters who have already completed side quests and donjons. World tier. Oh, this is one that I read earlier and was just like, what the hell? And before silent chests have insane broken drop, they might. So World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increased from 15 to 20%. Monsters now drop 15% more items. Okay, so this is completely stupid. We'll just be blunt with it. It's stupid. So, why did people play World Tier 1 over World Tier 2? Pop quiz. Why did they play World Tier 1 over World Tier 2? Was it the bonus gold? No. It wasn't the gold. Was it the bonus XP? No. It wasn't the bonus XP. It was thought bonus XP at first, but then everyone found out, well, I can just do this on World Tier 1 where it's faster, safer, and overall more XP total, unless, of course, you're in World Tier 2 and just absolutely one-shotting everything, which in case, carry on your way, right? They need to increase the XP gain from World Tier 2. Not the gold. No one cares about the crappy gold drops that you get in World Tier 1, 2, or 3. We don't care about 15% more useless items because let's be real, once you get to World Tier 3 plus, you don't care about World Tier 2, right? So you basically get to level 50, you get the hell out of World Tier 2, get to World Tier 3, and at 3, and then as fast as you can, you jump to World Tier 4, and then as fast as you can, you're rushing to level 85 to get a chance at playing the lottery for those Uber uniques, right? That we'll never see, but, you know, they're there. That's how progression works in Diablo 4 currently. You rush to get through the world tiers so you can get better gear, and you rush to get to 85 after the fact so you have a chance at playing the lottery and swinging your dick in front of your friends. I got a Shaco. I got a Shaco. That's how progression works in Diablo 4, even in hardcore. That's how it works. This is how it works. We like where World Tier 2 has landed overall, but are increasing its reward pace to better align with its difficulty. Completely useless. Play World Tier 1. Level scaling inside dungeons and most overworld territories has been adjusted in World Tiers 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point, up to a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, Legion events, Fields of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare dungeons. We want to give players a better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world while still challenging themselves. What? Okay, so let's just read these examples. If the player's level is below 55, the monster's level is 55. This is World Tier 3. If the player's level is 56 to 60, the monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 61, the monster's level is 56. If the player's level is 62, the monster's level is 57, etc. From this point, the monster will always be -5 until World Tier 3's max monster level of 70. So World Tier 4 example, the player's level is below 75, the monster is 75, and so on and so forth. So, you know what this means? This is yet another notch on the bedpost as to why to never be in the open world, period. The problem of scaling never was, oh, these things are my level, I just can't kill them anymore. If that was the case, you were just a bad player. Let's be real. The issue was no one wanted to do open world content because the drops were shit. The XP was shit. It wasn't as good as doing dungeons, which is fine, right? Because it's like there's absolutely no reason to do anything open world related unless it's like Helltides or something, right? Because they didn't touch Helltides. They didn't touch, well, actually, Fields of Hatred, I bet people farm the shit out of that even more now. People still going to be doing Legion events, maybe, even though they're completely useless once you get to Nightmare dungeons, in my opinion. Like, Legion events just aren't good XP anymore compared to Nightmare dungeons. We've seen that leveling our Druid. We literally compared it. We were like, oh, I wonder if Legion events are good anymore. Nope. They just don't compare to Nightmare dungeon XP if done fast enough. Like, not even close. So they just made World XP way worse. I mean, World XP wasn't really a good thing to begin with, but like I said, this gives even more reason to not hang out in the world, which sucks. I know that they said that they wanted people to experience their big world and everything. This is a slash to that. People don't want to run around killing things 5 levels lower than them. Experience. Reward experience for completing Whispers in World Tier 3 and 4 have been significantly increased. We'll see how much that is. We'll see how much that is. What's up, Projo? They slow all the things down, so maybe there's no point to put more XP for World Tier 2? Maybe. Looks almost like they're trying to scare people into buying the XP boost for season passes. What? Season passes, you don't have to pay for anything to get XP boost. What are you talking about? And what's going on, Spectre? You experience it until you're done with your map and statues. Yeah, that's it. I mean, world bonuses are just useless. Yeah, you don't. There's nothing that you buy that gives you a boost. The only things that are bought in Diablo 4 currently, I mean, I'm not saying that the future won't change this, but currently, you can buy a boost for your seasonal pass, which all that gives you is faster access. Basically, you're paying for less playtime for your season, if that makes sense. And the unlocks that you get for the season that aren't free, that you pay for, is all like cosmetic stuff, right? So all the XP boosts or anything of that nature you get, that's going to be free with the season. You don't have to pay for any of that stuff. Yeah, so the thing that you're thinking of, Crash, I get what you're saying. the thing you're thinking of, there's like a boosted or accelerated pass or something like that. And that's just for leveling up your seasonal level or whatever faster. So you'll get those rewards quicker. Basically, it's meant as a way to speed through the seasonal content if you have like 2 jobs and 14 kids or something. You know what I mean? It's for those people that always cry on Reddit forums, I got 14 kids and 6 wives and 8 jobs and all this stuff. Those people that complain and want the game to be made easier for them and not for anyone else. I mean, for everyone else, obviously. They don't care about anyone else. They care about themselves. But they want the game to be basically made to be played on a, one-hand double-click kind of motion. They just want to get through it quicker so they can move on to something else. That's why that's there. And Blizzard's like, yes, I will take your money. Actually, it's not just Blizzard. It's any Battle Pass does that now, I think. They did say Tree of Whispers XP is increased. Yeah, how much is that? They said significantly. Developer notes, we have observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level enemy or higher... let me learn how to read. For killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while another member of their party waits at the dungeon entrance. So, it's not going to change. There's one way to fix power leveling in this game. And you know what that is? Every single dungeon has random monsters that will spawn at the start. Or wherever there's another player that's just standing still. If you're AFK in a dungeon or something, or if you're not moving for... I don't know. Actually, if you haven't left a region for a long time and you're not actively killing anything, something will spawn on you. That's how you stop power leveling. This isn't going to stop people from chilling at the start and just doing things. It's just not going to happen. They must be from Utah. I have 13 kids and only 5 jobs. Damn it. Damn it. So they're adjusting bonus XP rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. Pre-season of the Malignant bonuses were 1 level higher, you got 15%, 2 levels, 20, 3 levels, plus 25%. So basically, for hardcore players anyway, for softcore, you could probably push harder. Obviously, if something was 4 to 5 to 6 plus levels higher than you, you would get more XP on a baseline experience, but your bonus would only go up to 25%. So you never would really try to push past 3. Because of the danger involved, you could be one shot, right? If something's like 6 to 9 levels higher than you, it gets a little scary for hardcore players. So post-season, the 1.5% bonus per levels up to 10 levels. Ooh. Really? Plus 1 level is 1.5%, plus 2 levels is 3%, plus 10 levels is 15%. Huh. So that's pretty neat. This is good. This is needed. I'm guessing, like, this is a bonus on top of these, right? If I'm not mistaken, or is this like a nerf? Am I reading this wrong? I think they're adding it. Like, this is a good thing. We're also adjusting experience rewards for monster level offsets for higher world tiers. Current world tier level offsets. World tier 2 up to plus 3. Tier 3 up to plus 10. Tier 4 up to plus 100. We're changing this to world tier 2 unchanged. World tier 3 up to plus 6. And world tier 4 up to plus 10. Wait a minute. So this is a nerf. Or am I just being dumb here? I feel like I'm misreading this completely. But it looks like a nerf. Plus 15% as opposed to 1.5%. Right? plus 2 levels versus 2 levels higher, 20% to 3%. Surely they didn't nerf it that bad. So they reduced power leveling to 90% XP. Yeah, like that's... I don't know how to read this, so I'm just going to like leave my thoughts out of this one right now. I'm going to have to like reread this or have someone that's smarter than me explain this to me. Because the way they got it labeled here is a bit confusing to me. The way you read it is that instead of 15%, you're now getting 1.5% and so on. Yeah. I'm going to let the smarter ones deal with that one. Because I thought initially this was going to be a buff. But it does not look that way at all. Helltides. We're looking to increase the dangers in Helltide's risk-reward gameplay by making the monsters a bit more challenging and the tortured gift of mysteries harder to open. Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than just 2. It's fine. It's more XP. Well, I mean, no, was more XP. The tortured gift of mysteries chest has had its cost increased to $250 from $175. Damn. All right. All interactable objects in Helltide zones now have a small chance of dropping aberrant cinders. I mean, didn't they to begin with? Like what? Man, I felt like Helltides was in a good spot, but whatever. Anyway, now we're into the meat and the potatoes of the balance updates. What have we here? Balance updates. Dev notes, as our community continues to battle the burning hells, the builds emerging from new players have shocked and delighted us. We've chosen to focus Season of the Malignant's balance updates on clear itemization disparities over redesigns of class features. The class changes are largely focused on numeric increases to skill upgrades and legendary aspects that players haven't yet found compelling. Additionally, we're changing crit strike damage paragon glyphs to empower all damage instead of only core skills to enable more build strategies. Okay. There are also a few class stat decreases on sources which grant extreme amounts of damage, healing, or unstoppable. Great. In general, we prefer build-specific changes to be bonuses instead of decreases, but we feel these changes are necessary for the overall health of the game. Diablo 4 is a game that is continually evolving through the seasons. Thus, the adjustments we make will evolve with them. Barbarian. Let's jump right on in. Violent double swing vulnerable duration has been increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Furious upheaval damage bonus per stack has been increased from 3% to 5%. Okay. This is actually nice. Like, this is almost double the damage, really. I mean, the damage stacks go up 2% per stack, so it's an extra 2% every... That's good. That's a good thing. Upheaval might be good again. Power charge cooldown reduction is now capped to 3 targets for a maximum of 9 seconds of cooldown reduction. Okay. Tactical ground stomp fury gain increased from 25 to 40. Okay. Ground stomp's getting some glory. I don't really know what power charge cooldown reduction is. I mean, I know obviously it's capped, but I'm curious about it. I need to play Barb, damn it. Enhanced Deathblow's damage bonus to bosses increased from 100 to 150%. Deathblow got a buff. Enhanced Steel Grasp's vulnerable duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. Okay. Enhanced Rupture damage increased from 30 to 45%. Warrior's Rupture attack speed bonus increased from 20 to 30%. And duration increased from 4 to 5%. Fighter's Rupture healing increased from 15 to 18% maximum life. Passives. Oh, hamstring. Hamstring now only slows healthy enemies, and slow amount increased from... Basically, they doubled it. I mean... What's considered healthy in this game? Isn't it like 85% or more? Earlier, you watched Rob smack Lilith in the dick with his bone-speared necro still broken. Even more now. Did you see the things up earlier? That shit was crazy. It's 80% plus? Okay. Anything above 80? All right. So that kind of sucks. That means if you're playing solo anyway, and what other ways does Barb have to slow things? That's a lot of damage decreased. Because, I mean, a lot of Barbs, weren't they like they were using hamstring to CC enemies with slow, obviously, and that was increasing their damage overall? That's kind of big. Cut to the bone. Bleeding damage bonus to vulnerable reduced by 1%, and then 2%, and then 3%. Okay. Paragon. Wrath Glyph's bonus now applies to all damage instead of just core skills. I don't actually know what Wrath Glyph does. I don't know anything about Paragon stuff for Barb. Aspects. Relentless Berserker's aspect berserking duration decreased from 1 to 2 seconds. Battle Mat aspect berserking duration increased from 1 to 2.5 to 2 to 3.5. Okay. Brawler's aspect damage has been increased slightly. Aspect of Burning Rage damage increased by like fucking double here or something. Aspect of the Iron Warrior damage reduction increased from 15% to 25 to 18 to 28%. Slaking. Aspect lucky hit chance increased by 10%. Aspect of Ancestral Echoes. Lucky hit chance has been increased. I like this one. I know what this one is. And Weapon Master's lucky hit chance increased by like 5%. Gore's Devastating Grips. These are the gloves that Rob loved for so long. Gore's Devastating Grips now explodes every 2 seconds or after it ends, and its hit cap has been removed. All right. Fields of Crimson Bleeding damage bonus increased from 10% to 15%. All right. Well, that's Barb. This is Druid now, I guess. We have to do... It's that screwed up thing again. They really need to mess with this. Wow, Druid didn't get any changes at all, huh? Didn't look like it. Not much. So skills. We have Enhanced Claw attack speed bonus increased by 5%. Storm Strike damage reduction reduced, 25 to 15%. Ooh, boulder damage increase. We're going to start seeing some boulder skills. Savage Trample Spirit gain has been doubled. That's good. Prime Lacerate healing has been increased. Cataclysm lightning damage increased from 64 to 77%, and tornado damage from 19 to 23. Supreme Cataclysm vulnerability duration has increased by 1 second. Prime Cataclysm duration has been increased from 2 to 4. Prime Grizzly Rage now grants Unstoppable for 6 seconds while active. Okay. Provocation thresholds required for guaranteed overpowers has been reduced from 35, 30, 25 to 24, 20, 16. I'm pretty sure this was different than what I'm reading here, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought you could get it down to 15 seconds, but apparently I was wrong. It's 25. Spirit Boon. I mean, we haven't used Provocation in a long time, but... Masochist now also requires a lucky hit chance of 75%. Well. That one got changed up quite a bit. Prickle skin thorns increased from 0.1 to 0.15. Iron feather maximum life has been increased from 10 to 14%. Why not just make it 15%? Is that 1% extra life to make it rounded off like in the middle there such a bad thing? Bolster fortify increased from 10 to 15% max life. See? That's there. Overload damage has been increased to 0.2 to 0.25. Okay. Paragon. Spirit glyphs bonus now affects all skills instead of just core skills. And aspects. What we got here? Aspect of the calm breeze. Lucky hit chance. It's been increased by 2%. Aspect maximum spirit has been increased. Tempest damage has been increased. Skinwalker. That one's stupid. Symbiotic aspect cooldown has been reduced. Insatiable Fury Werebear skill ranks have been increased from 2 to 3. So that's good. That's an overall increase for just wearing that unique. And Mad Wolf Glee as well got boosted by 1. Cool. Dude, Druid's still good. Druid is still A-okay. I like it. Druid definitely got away with some luck here. Like that, I think overall that's a good thing. All right, so we got Necromancer next. Necromancer. Initiate's Decompose Slow has been increased from 30% to 50%. Paranormal Sever required, cast required for vulnerable reduced from 4 to 3. That's actually not bad. Just means more corpse for you. Enhanced Blood Surge healing increased from 2.5 to 3% maximum health. Enhanced Blood Lance damage reduction for piercing reduced from 15 to 10. Bone Prison. Initial essence gained increased by 10. Abhorrent Iron Maiden healing increased from 5% to 7% of max life. And golems now move faster and unhindered through enemies when their cooldown is activated. That wasn't like that before. Your golems would get blocked by things? That kind of sucks. Huh. Supreme Blood Waves leave blood orbs behind them. Ray Skeleton, Corpse Explosion. Corpse Tendrils range for auto-targeting corpse on mouse and keyboard has been increased 50%. Okay. Ray Skeleton's Priest bonus damage has been increased by 10%, and the healing has been increased by 5%. Yeah, I feel like they could double that. Like 20 to 40% and 10 to 20. Actually, you could bring this healing up to like 50%, and I think it would still be kind of meh. Or maybe it would be good then. I don't know. I feel like the healing just sucks. Like, that healing was... I'm with a lot of other people and talking about the skeleton priest healing thing. Instead of just, like, healing the units that you have, why not take the weakest unit, destroy it, and bring up a fresh one? Like, that... I feel like that's just a better system. That's what they did in Diablo 2. Well, actually, Diablo 2 was... basically what you it was in a pecking order on which ones you summoned. But I mean, still, anything's better than this. Oh, I'm being healed by 5. Passives. Evulsion bonus damage to vulnerable enemies has been reduced by 1%, and then 2%, and then 3%. Transfusion minions healing increased from 15 to 20. 45 to 60. Drain Vitality Lucky Hit Chance has been increased by 5%, and Amp Damage increased from 369 to 4812. Sounds like Pikmin. Yeah, kind of. Book of the Dead. Necromancer minions will now automatically resummon after respawning during a world boss fight. All right. Skeleton Warrior Defenders upgrade Thorns Inherited increased from 40 to 50%. Okay. So they're really trying to push a Thorns build for Necromancer, aren't they? We're getting some D2 vibes here. Shadow Skeleton Mage upgrade. Attacks required for an additional Shadow Bolt reduced from 5 to 4. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade. Fortify amount increased from 11 to 20%. Ooh. Iron Golems upgrade attacks required for Slam reduced from 5 to 4. Kind of cool. And we have Paragon. Again, they're just affects all instead of just core. This is actually big. I feel like this has kind of been overlooked so far as like we've been like discussing things, but them increasing all damage as opposed to just your core, I think that's kind of big. That's gonna promote like more builds being done up. So I'm interested to see how that pans out. Aspects. Splintering aspect of Bone Shard. Damage has been reduced. Wow. From 50 to 100 to 30 to 60. That got gutted. I don't know what that was, but it went down a lot. Plunging Darkness bonus damage has been increased from 50 to 100 to 75 to 125. Coldbringer's aspect. Blizzard cooldown reduced from 10 to 8. Aspect of Hungry Blood chance to fire a Blood Lance has been increased from 10 to 20%. Blood-soaked aspect damage has been increased from 0.15 to 0.2, rather. Aspect of Ultimate Shadow damage has been increased by a lot of bit, actually. Aspect of Grasping Veins. Critical strike damage bonus reduced from 30 to 60 to 20 to 40. Wow. Some of these got slapped, man. Osseous Gale aspect bonus. Bone Storm duration has been increased by a second. Aspect of the Damned. Damage bonus has been increased. Bloodbathe aspect echo. Damage reduction been reduced by 10%. Woo. Aspect of Reanimation Skeletons damage bonus has been increased from 20 to 30 to 30 to 40. And for your items, your Bloodless Scream essence gained has been increased 2 to 5 to 7 to 10. That's actually big. That's a nice chunk right there of essence gain. Deathless Visage damage has been increased from 0.25 to 0.35 to 0.28 to 0.38. Little buff there. Necromancer seemed like kind of good, you know? Avarice just murdered 3 people? Did you ring the bell on them? Rogue. Let's see what they've done with Rogue. We're almost done here, boys and girls. Let's see. Rogues. Advanced rapid fire duration has been increased from 3 to 5. All right, then. Caltrops cast speed has been increased by 15%. I need to try that now because I actually did not like Caltrops just because of how long it took to jump up in the air and look flashy. Enhanced Cold Imbue. Lucky hit chance has been increased from 30 to 40%. Hey, maybe people start using Cold Imbue with Lucky Strike skills. Enhanced Smoke Grenade damage bonus has been increased from 15 to 20%. Okay. Methodical Dash. Maximum cooldown reduction has been increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Concealment. Stealth duration has been increased from 4 to 5 seconds. That's actually good. I like that. Enhanced Dark Shroud's chance to not be consumed goes from 10 to 14%. Supreme Death Trap cooldown reduction has been increased from 10 to 12 seconds. Okay. Their passives. Victimizes Lucky Hit chance has been increased from 30 to 35%. That's actually good. We used Victimize with our Lucky Hit range build, where we were using like Wind Force and those gloves. It wasn't the greatest build, but it was fun. I mean, when you pop shit, you could one-shot bosses. Siphoning Strikes now also requires a Lucky Hit chance of 75%. Rugged damage reduction over time increased from 5, 10, 15 to 6, 12, 18. Okay. Mending obscurity healing per second has been increased by 1%, 2%, 3%. I mean, that's something. Aftermath energy restored from 25, 50, 75 to 30, 60, 90. That's good. Let's see. Paragon. They had 2 board changes here. Core skill change that every class got. And Eldritch Bounty. Legendary node duration has been increased from 6 to 9. Okay. Specialization. Preparation's ultimate cooldown reduction has been increased. So preparation got a buff. That's good. Now we got legendary aspects. Ooh, boy. I wonder if they touched anything juicy here. Aspect of volatile shadows. Damage has been increased by a little bit. Icy Alchemist aspect increased 10%. Chill increase. Shadow Slicer's aspect damage has been increased 25 to 35% to 80 to 100. Wow. I don't even remember what Shadow Slicers was. Toxic Alchemist damage has been increased by a nice chunk. Vengeful aspect lucky hit chance has been increased from 30 to 50 to 40 to 60. 10% increase there. Aspect of imitated imbuements duration increased from 5 to 9 seconds. Aspect of stolen vigor healing has been increased from 0.2 to 0.6 to 0.4 to 0.8. Aspect of lethal dusk. I mean, these changes are just kind of, I mean, they're good. Not like they're a bad thing, but I mean, I never use some of these. Items, Sky Hunter, energy gain increased from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30. And Grasp of Shadow, which is the gloves, I think, that summon your double. Grasp of Shadow, lucky hit chance has been increased by 4%. I mean, overall buffs to this class, but I mean, they still haven't touched. Dude, Rogue has a nerf coming. I'm telling you, it's not like a nerf to the class overall, but that Twisting Blades orbital thing has been broken since the beta, and they still have yet to touch it. Like, it's adding a ridiculous amount of poison damage. I'm not saying it's broken, but it's the most broken build on Rogues right now still. Twisting Blades is still just that much stronger than everything else. I was kind of hoping that, like, when I first read this advanced rapid fire duration increase, I was kind of hoping that we would see more ranged bonuses, but no, it's still Twisting Blades all the way. Rogue made it out unscathed, shocker. Telling you, man, Woodio works on the the dev team. They probably don't know how to nerf it. I mean, maybe. But yeah. You just need to know if Twisting Blades is good or not. Twisting Blades is the most broken build on Rogue right now. You use 2 abilities, Comical Basil. God, I can't fucking read. You use Twisting Blades, and you use Poison Imbuement. And you need an aspect. You need the aspect where Twisting Blades orbits around your character. Those 3 things right there is literally all you need to go all the way through the game. All the way through the game. I don't care if your gear is absolute shit. Mine was garbage. I swapped from a ranged build to that build. I did just fine with ranged gear. Literally still had ranged gear on me. I was still killing things. I wasn't hitting like super hard, but I was still killing things like no problemo. That's all you need. Twisting Blades orbital aspect, Twisting Blades, Poison Imbuement. That's it. That's all you need. It's that easy. Siphon Strikes requiring lucky hit fucked our survivability. That's our heal. 75% chance. I mean, they did the same thing to Druid, though. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to bump it down on, like, the hits. That thing that they added lucky hit strike chance to with Druid, the, what's it called? It's one of our aspects. Everyone use this masochist or masochistic. They did the exact same thing to this. It is kind of big, but I don't feel like it's going to completely fuck the class up. I don't know. I mean, my rogue ended up like actually ditching siphoning strikes because once I got temerity, I was just using that. And I feel like there are better choices than temerity, but with temerity, I was just keeping a bubble up all the time when I jumped in the middle of stuff. You know, until we got a crash and couldn't do that, you know. But yeah, I still feel like Twisting Blades is just god tier for rogue. They really didn't do much to change up anything, to be honest. I mean, there's some changes in here, I think mostly positive, but I still think Twisting Blades is like, think of it like this. Twisting Blade build is like here, everything else is like here. Yeah, you can still do shit down here, but this is stupid. Oh, well. We go on. Ooh, Sork's got a chunky list here. See what Sork's got, shall we? The DPS is from the poison? Yes. Boost poison DPS and then just run, got it. Yeah, pretty much. Like, you literally will pop poison imbuement, stab something, run through a group. It'll come, like, even on bosses. Oh, you're also going to be using your, for a while anyway, until you can get your energy management better, you're going to be going through, not the combo points, but the eye thing, where, like, when you do enough damage to the target, it gives you like, infinite energy for a couple seconds. Until you can get your energy management, like, down-locked with other aspects, like, later on in the game, you're going to use that. After that, I would use combo. I used combo anyway. Preparation might even be good now. Preparation's probably still solid anyway. Anyway, Sorks. What do we got here? Enhanced charge bolts. Damage has been increased 6%. Now benefits from skill ranks. Whoa. Cool. Destructive charge bolt damage has been... damage reduction has been increased by 5%. Incinerate damage reduction has been increased by 5%. Ice Blade's cast cleanup has been tightened, allowing players to act after it's cast sooner. Neat. Okay. Firebolt's initial damage has been increased from 10% to 18%. That's not even going to be noticed. Wizard's Firewall maximum mana regeneration has been increased from 25 to 35%. Wizard's Blizzard core skill mana reduction increased from 10 to 20%. Okay. Sorry, I'm like slowing down here. Is this actually called Wizard's Firewall and Wizard's Blizzard? Because this class is called the Sorcerer, right? Are we just like interject, like changing the word up midway, like going Sorcerer then Wizard? Or is it actually called like Wizard's Firewall or something? I'm confused. I've never played a Sork, so I don't know. But I was just reading it and I was thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Wizards? I know wizards are males and Sorks are females. I get that, but we're just like bouncing around everywhere. Right? It is the skill's name? Okay, so that's less confusing then. I was just mindfuck. So Wizard's Blizzard core skill mana cost reduction has been increased by 10%. Good. Good. You gonna be playing a Druid or a Necromancer next? Dude, I would still go Druid. Druid still feels like it's the best, unless Sorks get something crazy. Supreme Deep Freeze cooldown reduction. It's been increased from 50 to 100%. Okay. Passives. What do we got here? Elemental Dominance now also affects mastery skills instead of just core skills. Okay. Potent warding duration has been increased by a lot. 6 seconds. Protection barrier duration has been increased by 1 second. Align the elements damage reduction per second has been increased 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 6, 9. Okay. Mana shield damage reduction has been increased 5, 10, 15 to 7, 14, 21%. Devouring Blaze. Bonus critical strike damage. It's been reduced. Really? Aren't Sorks like kind of struggling on damage right now? Devouring Blaze bonus critical strike damage to immobilize has been reduced as well by 25, 50, 75 to 10, 20, 30? Damn. God damn. Who the fuck hates Sorks, dude? Holy shit. What? I mean, was it really that strong? Was Devouring Blaze really that strong? I'm being honest. I don't play Sorks, but holy shit. That's a genuine question. What's up, Dork? Bully the like, holy shit. Everything else has been kind of minor, and then you get the Devouring Blaze, they're like, yeah, fuck you. Wow. Fiery Surge mana regen has been increased 10, 20, 30 to 15, 30, 45. Man, I'm still hung up. Like, who used Devouring Blaze? You need it on all the builds is why? What's up, Ray? There's two memes. Nerf Barb, delete Sork. Necro Bone Spear got nerfed as well, but they buffed pets, sort of. There was something we read up top where, like, pets... What is it? It's the lidless wall shield. That thing just straight up tells you, like, don't use pets. Just don't use pets. Golly, man. Okay. I'm going to try and finish this up. We can play some Mario Kart. Paragon. Destruction Glyph now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Okay. Enchantments. Spark enchantment chance to form crackling energy has been increased by 4%. Frozen Orb enchantment chance to be cast 20 to 30. Incinerate enchantment cooldown has been reduced from 18 to 14 seconds. And Hydra enchantment threshold has been reduced from 300 to 200. I mean, I don't know which one of these were used a lot and which ones weren't. So this... It sounds like these last two could be kind of big, maybe. I don't know. Legendary aspects. Aspect of efficiency mana cost reduction increased by 5%. Now also affects mastery skills. Aspect of Armageddon. Damage increased by a decent chunk. Aspect of Shattering Stars. Damage has been increased by 0.5. Serpentine aspect Hydra duration reduction reduced from 30 to 20 to 20 to 10. Glacial aspect Ice Spikes bonus damage to Frozen has been reduced by 10%. Glacial aspect Ice Spikes damage has been increased from 0.2 to 0.3 to 0.25 to 0.35. Aspect of the Frozen Tundra has been increased. Frozen Wake has been increased. Another 0.5. Chill increased 10 to 15%. Biting Cold to apply vulnerable to a frozen enemy has been increased 25 to 35 to 30 to 40. Okay. Encased aspect life and mana restore per second has been increased from 10 to 20 to 20 to 30. Stable aspect chance for a free cast increased from 5 to 10 to 7 to 12. See, these are going over my head more than likely because I haven't played a Sork yet. So some of these I don't understand. I haven't played a Sork past 30 yet. So aspect of splintering energy chance to respond an additional lightning spear has been increased by a lot. Holy shit. That's a huge increase, like straight up 30%. Aspect of the Unbroken Tether chance to spawn additional chain lightning chains increase from 25, 35 to 30 to 40. Okay. God, dude, that one change is still on my mind. So you pair Devouring Blaze with an enchantment that gives you 100% burning uptime. Incinerate enchantment, the random flamethrower thing. Yeah. So that's fucking gimp now. Gimpier, I guess. So let's see. Items. Gloves of the Illuminator. Fireball damage reduction has been reduced from 65-75 to 55-65. 10% nerf. Esu's Heirloom. Critical strike chance for move speed has been increased. Woo! Isadora's Overflowing Cameo. Chance to release a Lightning Nova has been increased by 5%. Man, of all of these, I feel like Sork's probably got the shit end of the stick again. I mean, I'll be... I don't know, man. I feel like... Here's how I would rank this. Druid and Rogue are tied for first place. Because they just didn't get fucked with, really, right? Like, some of their survivability stuff got kind of janky. But for the most part, Rogues and Druids got out of this one all right. Necromancer and Barb, yay. I mean, I feel like they didn't get fucked. Sorg? Judgment Day is soon for Druid and Rogue. Don't you start that. Don't you be like that tiny violin guy. Wow, man. Sorks? Whew. Someone really hates Diablo 2 Sorks, I guess. And Diablo 3 to an extent. That's something, man. Jesus Christ. Look how they messing with my boy. Sork buff max 10%, nerf 70. Yeah, that's what it feels like, dude. Sork's got... Woo. CDR hurts to shout uptime on Barb and overall damage nerf on Vone and crit damage, but that's most builds. I feel like this. I don't know much about Barbs. So, I mean, obviously, I trust you guys over my own, like, thoughts here, but I feel like this hamstring only affecting healthy enemies is like a stinger. I feel like that hurts a lot. I could be wrong, but wasn't that used in, like, most builds for CC damage? You never built in the slow and CC damage? Ah. Yeah, the upheaval definitely got a nice little buff here, man. Bonus per stack, like up 2% each stack. That I mean, that adds up. It's something. People say Hoda Barb deals 0 damage in PvP. Yes. Have you gone over the XP nerfs yet? Yes. Dude, I'll be honest. When I looked at this and first read this, it confused the shit out of me, right? Because I was just like, oh, man, we're getting buffs. We're getting buffs. Like, I thought this was adding to it. And then I reread it over in my mind. I was like, wait, no, I just fucking misread all of that. Like, yeah. It's pretty bad. The Helltide stuff was what? Like, they added more, you have to farm a lot more to get through mysterious chests because they're like 250 now. So far, man, this patch has been, not bad, but, general aspects. Aspect of disobedience. Maximum stacks has been, oh boy. I mean, we knew this was coming. Let's be real. This thing was actually like really fucking broken. Aspect of disobedience, maximum stacks have been reduced from 100 to 60, reducing maximum bonus armor percentage from 25 to 50 to 15 to 30. I think it's still really strong. you get a max roll that does 30%, I think it's still strong. Obviously, it's not as good as 50%, but I think it is still viable. It went from being a must-have to maybe you can do something else. But before, this shit was a must-have. Like, Disobedience was so strong. And you can still stick it on your neck piece. Yeah, put that Disobedience on your amulet. Exactly. They need to do something to allow Sorks to use different enchantments. They chose to nerf. Hell Trickle, am I right? What'd they do to Helltide? Like, they nerfed... Well, they made it harder because everything's one level above you, which is good because that gives you a little bit more XP. Well, I mean, they nerfed XP overall, I guess, but, you know. In the grand scheme of things, you get more XP now. With all the nerfs. Aspect of Retribution bonus? No one. Who used that? I know I never did. That's the one where, like, they hit you from ranged or something and they're stunned? Or some shit like that? I don't remember. Exploiter's aspect bonus. Damage to Unstoppable has been reduced by a maximum of 10%. Starlight aspect resource restore. It's been increased 10 to 20 to 20 to 40. That's the... What's the Starlight aspect? What the fuck was that? Patch is going to make a lot of people upsetty spaghetti and mob density is awful. I thought the mob density and Helltides were fine. I mean, sometimes you go through dead spots, but I always just thought it was because other players may have been there before me. But most part, I always run into enemies there. I don't like changing the 175 to 250. I mean, that's just less loot overall. But, meh. I know right now they really did fuck up the drop rate of the cinders, right? Like, it's not dropping like it should. And I know Pez Radar actually said something about, like, they're looking into the problem or something. What we got here? Butcher's Cleaver. Slow is increased from 40 to 75 to 61 to 75. Ooh. Drop rate adjustments. What we got here? Increase the bonus to drop ancestral and sacred items in Nightmare Dungeons from 5% to 10%. Removed a 20% chance to drop an extra equipment item from Elite outside of Nightmare Dungeons and Helltides. Cool. They're killing their open world that they work so hard on. Like it. Increased chance to drop an extra equipment item from Elite monsters in Nightmare Dungeons. 10%. Damn. Nightmare Dungeons now have a 50% chance to drop a second legendary item upon completion. Dude, they are seriously telling us to live in nightmaredungeons.com. They are saying, yes, Diablo 4 is an MMO light. No. It's go to town, pop a Nightmare Sigil dungeon, go do your rift, go back to town, pop another one, do your rift, go back to... It's turning into D3 already. They are killing their open world. From enemies being way weaker in the open world now by like what, 5 levels? Like, yeah. Literally, it's do Nightmare Dungeons, do Nightmare Dungeons, do Nightmare Dungeons. And that literally translates to hope you guys liked rifts in Diablo 3 because that's coming at you. I don't like that. Monsters. Increased monster HP scaling from 85 to 100% bonus per extra player in the party. Woo! All right. So that's going to slow down power leveling quite a bit. Which is not a bad thing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's way more fun when you have all your buddies together slaying shit as opposed to soloing a dungeon and having 3 people get XP. It is what it is. I mean... I see why they did that, I guess. Miscellaneous. Adjusted the scaling of the Greed Shrine. What? To improve its effectiveness throughout the game. God bless. They finally fixed Greed Shrine, maybe. World bosses now drop potions more often. Oh boy. There is no longer a limit to how many materials you can refine into higher materials at once. That was the stupidest thing. You can do 20. Woo! I can do 20 all day long. That shit was so stupid. And world bosses dropping potions now more often. Has Blizzard not seen how world bosses are in tier 4? Have they just not watched a video? T3 PTSD. World bosses last 10 seconds, and that's what shit did. Exactly. I mean, even without the shred build, these things are gonna die quickly. Like, maybe this is just step 1 of them fixing world bosses, because currently in World Tier 4, world bosses are a fucking joke. Big time. Many app fixes are too efficient and are outshining alternatives. We're looking to refine the outliers, improve the number of meaningful choices on competitive slots, and increase the overall flexibility of items. We know these changes will reduce the total amount of possible power a character can possess, so we'll be monitoring how these changes affect players' ability to conquer expected milestones throughout the season. We're increasing the availability of the affixes to make them easier to include in different builds. Control impaired damage reduction can now appear on pants. Barrier generation can now appear for all classes. It'll also begin dropping later in the game. Lucky hit chance while you have a barrier can now be at all classes. Master skill damage now can appear on Sorc weapons. Okay. Resistance to all elements. Hey guys, hope you get this resistance to all elements. It's going to be really fucking useless for you. Go us. Bro. Developer notes, the core stat bonus on weapons has been overperforming. So we're pulling back on this bonus. What? Strength, 50% stronger when on weapons to 25% stronger when... Man! What? This is not just Sorc. This is every class nerf right here. This was big. Man, I was rolling like 180s on willpower on my staves and shit. What the fuck? Dev notes, the cooldown reduction affix often felt mandatory. Oh, boy. Due to their raw power, we imagine cooldown reduction will remain a highly desirable stat, but the penalty for not prioritizing it won't be as harsh. All cooldown reductions has been reduced roughly 30%. Wow. No, boy. Here's another one. Just when you get up from being punched in the face, it's like, here, have a foot. We're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage often viewed as a hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4. We believe this is a step towards allowing more builds to flourish and will continue to make changes in support of this goal. Critical strike damage has been reduced by roughly 17%. Lightning critical strike damage has been reduced by 17%. Sorcs. Critical strike damage with bone, earth, imbued, and werewolf skills has been reduced by 17%. And okay, hang on. Vulnerable damage was too strong, okay? Let's be realistic here. Let's be fair. Vulnerable damage was too strong because when you didn't use anything, if you didn't use vulnerable, your build was shit. Let's just get that out of the way right now. If you didn't have a way to use vulnerable on things throughout the game, your build was complete and utter shit. I think this is good. This is not a bad thing. It seems bad right now, but if they're willing to keep building on it and making other things better while bringing this thing that was God tier like down here a little bit, this is not a bad thing. Does it suck? Yes, it always sucks to feel nerfed, but this was needed. Vulnerable damage was way too fucking strong by not just a little bit, by like a fucking mile. Like vulnerable damage was just too good. It was way too good. And that's not even like personal opinion. That's just a fact. Like vulnerable was just too damn good. No fun allowed. Fuck your build. How dare you make big boy damage? I mean, they did say they don't want to see billions of damage. And I mean, the outliers right now are broken builds pretty much. But they do need to... Blizzard needs to rework vulnerable damage. Right now, they're just like kind of slicing it pretty hard. They're giving it a good gut. But, I mean, they need to work on other things too. Because if they just keep vulnerability damage nerfed, people are still going to use it. It's still that strong. People are still going to use it. It's going to become Diablo 3. If they don't rework vulnerability damage in some way, shape, or form, this game will become Diablo 3 with this right here. It's all going to be about crit and crit hit damage. Right now, it's about crit hit damage, and vulnerability damage. They need to rework Overpower, make that more interesting, make it better. Because as is, Overpower is very strong up until like your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Like, it reaches a point where it goes like this. Like, it gets better, and it flatlines. Like, it's not good anymore. But crit strike damage and everything keeps scaling upwards, right? Vulnerability damage was literally like, here's your baseline, we're going up from there. Like, it was that good. So, that's something. Disparities and inherent affixes can rule some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. These are receiving harsher reductions than their normal affix counterparts to increase weapon flexibility. So crit strike damage inherent on swords has been... Whoa! Hey, right here. What was I just talking about earlier with that bow that we were looking at? Remember? Hang on. Let's go back up here with this rogue. Remember how we were looking at this Sky Hunter energy gain thing? And we were also looking at... Sorry, I'm all over the place. Where's the unique items? Holy shit, this is a big batch. Eaglehorn. Remember how I said Eaglehorn was just shit because it was a bow and not a crossbow? And my reasoning behind it was because of the amount of vulnerability damage you got from crossbows made bows useless. Here you go. Here you fucking go, boys. That's... They didn't buff bows, but they nerfed the shit out of crossbows, boys. Oh, boy. Vulnerability damage is the only way to do good damage with minions? I mean, I just feel like they have to rework it. It's going to be a work in progress, I feel, but they got to rework it. Vuln damage was way too good. It was in every build that was worth thinking about. And it had to be. Damage bonus to crowd-controlled enemies was overperforming relative to the ease of activating it. This is a big nerf to Pulverized Druid. Big nerf. Damage to crowd-controlled enemies, 30% right there. That's flat up 30% damage decrease on that build. And other builds, obviously, but I just know that Pulverized 100% is getting all of that. Eating all of that to the face. Damage to frozen enemies has been increased by 20%. We've seen that skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters many levels above their own. We want to support this, but the current situation is beyond what we believe is correct for the long-term health of the game. Oh boy. To chase this goal, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defensive affixes. We know this will make our endgame content more deadly. particularly those chasing our pinnacle boss, an encounter not meant for the faint of heart. I mean, let's be real. That fight is actually so stupid. Anything that's a one-shot mechanic that has, like, varying aspects of the fight, it's stupid. Like, that fight's dumb. Overcoming the pinnacle boss will take every ounce of grit you can muster and escape scrolls at your disposal. And potions of escape death, or whatever the fuck it's called. Evade death. We will continue to evaluate feedback from the community and make changes to our combat mechanics. Oh. This is the last bit of it. Let's see what we got. Physical damage has been increased by 25%. Fire damage increased by 25%. Cold damage 25%. Lightning increased 25%. Poison, shadow, non-physical, physical damage over time. Fire damage over time has been increased. Wait. Physical damage over time, fire damage over time, shadow damage over time has been increased by 40%. That's a big buff. Come on. Damage with two-handed bludgeoning weapons has been increased by 25%. Slashing, dual-wield weapons, ranged weapons, skills that swap to new weapons, damage on human form, shape-shifted. Like, basically, they increased the fuck out of a bunch of other ways of damaging things. Ooh! Blizzard. Oh! No! And it's not just these, it's all of this. This. Oh. What the fuck? Dude, that is bad. Holy shit. Total armor has been reduced by 30%. Damage reduction as a whole reduced by 20%, 25%. Wow. This, boys, I'm not even kidding. This is bad. I'm not even joking. This just made the game one-shot fucking city. I'm not even kidding. If you do not run with a death evasion elixir, you will die in hardcore season 1. There's no doubt about it. If you're quick and you pop death evasion and you pop your scroll of escape whenever something's happening, you might be able to get away. Like, this is way too much. I'm fucking calling it. This is way too much. Because you got to think, it's not just this. What was the other shit that people were relying on for being tanky? You're talking about disobedience. That got a gut. That was gutted. That is actually needed. Right there you go. So, where's it at? Disobedience right here. This went from them nerfing this one thing and you thinking to yourself, okay, well, maybe I don't need disobedience anymore. You fucking need this. You need this on your amulet 100% of the time now, because that will offshoot this to the extent of where you won't be one shot all the time in harder content. 100%. You need disobedience in your neck piece if you're playing hardcore 100% of the time now. I'm going to make that statement right the fuck now. Every one of the hardcore builds you're going to see on Max Roll GG, all that other shit, disobedience in the neck piece. 100%. If you're playing hardcore. If you're playing softcore, I mean, whatever. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? Repair cost way. This is stupid. Wow. Wow. I mean, I get it. Armor was strong, okay? Armor was strong, but this just gutted it. They took out so much here. Druids actually got fucking fucked. All right? Druids not only got the 30% damage reduction here, Druids got it while in Werebear and Werewolf form as well. Druids didn't just get the 1-2, they got the dildo up the ass on this one, boys. Like, that is... whoo! Because you got to think, what else did Druids use? Damage reduction to close enemies, damage reduction to distant enemies, all this. Like, Druids got hit with all of this shit. While poisoned? Wow. You could literally ignore every other part of this patch and just look at this and no. I mean, I'm obviously still going to play it, but oh my God. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. D4 stream going to be interesting tomorrow? Are they doing like a talk to everybody and you know, give us some preparation H or something? You almost died 15 times on your Sork in the Helltide alone? Dude, this is big. You lost 1k armor with werewolf form. Sork now gets 0 armor. We still have malignant hearts, which might help balance it? No. This is huge. Like, this is big. Big. Sork are bad at the moment. If you are a Sork and you for sure need something to ensure you won't get one hit, Hall of Heroes gonna be busy. Yeah. Hall of One sniped heroes. Yes. They got the big gummy worm. You gonna play your Druid tomorrow? I'm off tomorrow. You need to look at the schedule, Deku. I'm taking time off in preparation for season 1. My first comeback will be a Barb. Holy fuck. Man, I don't know. Like, this just made hardcore fucking way harder. And don't get me wrong. In my opinion, hardcore was pretty fucking easy. Like, let's be real. Hardcore it's still technically not hard because of death evasion pots and scrolls of escape. They actually do trivialize hardcore quite a bit, but you have to be paying attention, obviously. I mean, it does happen plenty of times where you're doing your thing, you pop, you don't even know it, and you die because of it. We've seen it happen plenty of times. And man, you gotta really be on your fucking feet now. That's insane. I don't know how I feel about this patch, to be honest. Druid's still quite tanky right now. Just need to change your boot aspect from movement speed to unstoppable while injured. Just gotta have a way out. I mean, I think the game will still... I know I sound doomy and gloomy right now. It's not that. There's just a lot. That's a lot of increased damage. I'm curious to see how this pans out on Thursday. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see the effects until you get to higher levels. I don't feel like any of this stuff is even a thing. Like, if you're not level 50 plus or something, right? You don't even see half of this shit. But wow. They reduced our damage and increased the damage by a lot that we take, so... Interesting days, boys. Y'all want to play a game? Let's play game. Let's go play Mario Kart. Let's play game.